Hello friends, firstly I apologize for not uploading for basically 2 weeks. I recently moved home and that's been a very big headache, and I've had really bad internet and just, life stuff. Secondly, there's going to be 10 codes spread throughout this video. Each one will give you 1,000 star fragments. And thirdly, I haven't uploaded a tier list since patch 1.4, which was quite a while ago, so we're going to have a lot of changes to do. And I'm going to be honest, I'm actually going to be super aggressive in this tier list. I thought about doing it sort of like halfway between like super endgame and like mid end game, but I think it will just be best for me from my experience, how I play the game alongside my guild mates epic. I think I'm just going to be super aggressive and really separate the best characters from the ones that really don't get much use. Now I can guarantee you there's going to be some placements here that are going to get people quite annoyed, or they're going to question why it is, so do leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. Firstly, I'm going to be doing a bunch of nerfs. Now I'm not going to describe each and every single nerf because that'll take too long, so Tristan going down, Rapier Gowther going down to C tier, Tiore C tier, both specs of Meliodas going to the C tier. I'm putting Slader in the C tier as well as Sword and Shield Daisy, as long as Great Sword Escanor. Now these two can be main DPSs for Holy and Earth respectively, but if we're just keeping it 100% serious, they're both just really bad. I know I had Daisy and Escanor high up in my tier list, but obviously as time goes on you just get to realize that compared to Axe Diane, Daisy is just terrible. You cannot combo ult with her, she has no combo ult, you have to manually burst and she takes too long to do damage, whereas Escanor, Great Sword Escanor, he didn't really get buffed. Like he got a buff in the previous patch, I think it was list patch 1.6, but unfortunately he still kind of sucks. He's like just way worse than King, so yeah, I'm just gonna put them in the C tier because they're just not really that good at the higher levels of gameplay. Next, I'm dropping all the burst characters from S tier to B tier, simply because as time has gone on, it's just more and more obvious that the most optimal way to play the game is to use combined ultimates. You replace the burst character with another support, and that's just how it goes, guys. I'm sorry. The only one who I'm actually gonna leave, I'm not gonna have her in the S tier, but I'm gonna have her in the A tier, is Rapier Gila, and that's literally only because she has a use in the Knighthood boss battle, where her debuff decrease in defense is actually really nice. I mean, technically, like, you could use Escanor as well, but I just think Gila just works out to be better in the Knighthood content. But that's not to say the burst characters are bad. Like, they're still okay, they're fine to use, it's just not optimal whatsoever. Now we do some buffs. I'm actually gonna move what is this, Longsword Drake? I'm actually gonna put him up in the A tier. His engrave is actually just really strong. It gives normal skill damage to your entire team when you have pulse active, which is those like spinning blades around him. Obviously he's a burst character, but you don't actually use him for the burst, you basically just use him for the support because his new engraved is really strong. Next, I'm actually moving Axe Diane to the S tier now. Time Space Sector 7, I think it was Sector 7, the Demon Hendrickson one. Low-key showed us that Diane is actually really strong. I did upload a video, I think 2 videos ago, showing a 20-second clear on that time space with a P9 Diane, I think. And yeah, she's really impressive, man. She's really strong. She hits for millions and millions of damage. Next, I'm gonna move Nunchuck Hauser up to the S tier because he's simply one of the best support characters in the entire game. He's really strong. His engraved is super broken. He generates a ton of magic on the Nunchuck spec, so yeah, I mean, what more can I say? He's just a fantastic support character, and he's SR as well, which is really good. And for Lance Hauser, I'm just gonna put him up in the A tier as well. He's not like the Gauntlet and the Lance, they're not as good as the Nunchucks because they don't generate much magic, but at the end of the day they still can use the Secure Adventure engraved, so they use the special attack and they decrease the crit defense by 60% at level 3. Actually, now that I remember, I'm actually gonna move what is that, Longsword Manny down to the B tier. Unfortunately, she's just not that great, at least compared to Merlin, who we'll talk about in a second. I mean, she's good, she's fine, she's cute. You can use the Breath of Glory to get a nice DPS increase with all the extra normal attack damage, but if you're gonna run an ice main DPS, there is literally only one real option to use, and it's not Manny. So okay, so I'm pretty happy with how the current tier list looks, so now we can talk about the new characters. Merlin, I'm gonna put her up in the S tier just because she's the best ice DPS that we have, but Merlin's still really strong, very unique gameplay with the whole tag skill stuff. Is she S+? Absolutely not. S+ is only for characters who ignore elements like Meliodas, or they're just so strong that they can just clear content that they're not supposed to, right? Which is not Merlin, but she's still really nice. She's strong in the Tyrannus raid, of course, but S tier is all we're gonna have her in. I'll put her at the top here because I do think she's better than Escanor, to be honest. If Escanor wasn't the only fire, like the real fire DPS that we have, I would have moved him down to A tier, but since he's the best fire DPS, I'll keep him in the S tier. Next is Lightning Merlin. She is going straight to S+. What a fantastic character. I mean, actually no, she's going above Meliodas. She is the best character in the game. The best spec, weapon spec of any character in the game is Lightning Merlin. She is so strong, she is so OP. You run 5 of her in knighthood content because she's the best DPS. In terms of like really short content, like leaderboard runs, I don't think she'll ever beat Meliodas, just because Meliodas has the engraved, which does a chunk of damage every time you use the normal skill. Merlin doesn't have that. She has no way to like get that extra power that Meliodas has, but like in terms of like longer form content, she absolutely destroys Meliodas' DPS. Like she's way better, right? And obviously she's ranged, she's much safer. She doesn't have to be next to the boss. You know, if the boss hits her, she doesn't lose her combo like Meliodas does. She's just the best character in the game. Fire Merlin is next. Now, unironically, in the patch that she came out, I would have actually had her in the S tier because she could pre-burst some bosses like Gallon. She could pre-burst. What is it called? The Guardian Golem. So this recent patch, they removed her ability to burst the boss before they're targetable. So for that reason, I'm actually just gonna drop her down to the B tier, which is a real shame, you know, because Fire Merlin was like really cool, and like it was cool to use, and the engraved that she got in this patch was strong, but they basically killed the main thing that made her viable. So unfortunately she's just not gonna be like that useful anymore. Okay, next up we have Holy Liz. Now Holy Liz is just the best support character in the game. She's better than Daisy. I must say, you know, even though I've been like one of Daisy's biggest fans, I love Daisy. I think she's so strong, so valuable. Liz just does kind of too much, you know. She just does a bit too much. She decreases defense, she decreases weakness damage, she increases damage taken, she heals you, she gives you crit damage with her engraved. I mean, what doesn't she do, you know? I mean, she just does too much basically. She applies too many debuffs to the boss, she heals you, she gives you buffs herself, she gives you reaction immunity on the ultimate. Like, you know, Daisy, for however good Daisy is, at the end of the day, she decreases crit defense, a little bit of crit resistance, and gives you crit damage. Elizabeth does obviously she doesn't reduce like crit defense and stuff, but she reduces defense, which is really important. She heals you, she gives you crit damage, and she applies like very unique debuffs on the boss that no other character in the game applies. And so yeah, she's S+, she's just a fantastic character. And of course, if you do have a P10, you get access to the most broken P10 in the game. Increases all allies attack equal to 10% of the hero's defense. This changes Liz completely in terms of how you build her. And what it essentially means is all your characters get minimum 4,000 plus attack for free. It's passive, it's just like you just get it for free. Everyone gets 4,000 minimum attack, right? Because if you build her correctly, she should have anywhere from 40 to 50,000 defense before starting a fight. And then obviously in the fight you'll gain more defense, which will give your characters even more attack. So yeah, Liz, just a fantastic character. Wind Liz, I'm actually just going to put her in the B tier. There's nothing too relevant about her, to be honest. She mostly buffs Staff Clothal, although Staff Clothal really isn't good anymore. Because of course they killed the pre-buffing, right? And Clothal is a very big abuser of the whole pre-buffing, you know, sit in the little area before the fight and charge up infinite magic and spam 500 ults and get all your things going. You can't do that no more. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave Elizabeth in a bit. She does have like a very unique thing though. I think it's her P6. She increases allies movement speed by 50% for like 30 seconds or something, and it's like really nice in raids, just to help you like move along quicker. But generally I think like the gist of the character, buffing like normal attack damage and normal attack crit damage and normal attack crit chance and wind attack and all of this malarkey. Most of it doesn't apply to Elaine, which is unfortunate because Elaine is a normal skill spammer like Merlin and Meliodas. So I think I'll just leave her in the B tier. Next up is Earth Liz. Now guys, I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. She is unrunnable, she is unusable. I'm gonna say it, she's unusable. Why is she unusable? Because the main DPS of the Earth team has to combo ult. You cannot run a burst character with Diane. And if you did run a burst character, the only other one you can run is Elizabeth, but you cannot run Elizabeth with Diane because Diane needs to combo ult to get breaker debuff, or she has to attack 5 times. And I'm sorry, but Liz is not OP enough to have you manually burst with her, even though she does burst very fast. I'll give it that. She bursts incredibly quickly. It's like all the buffs she provides is just not good enough for Diane to sit there and normal attack the boss 5 times to apply a breaker. So for that reason, she's basically unusable in my eyes. I don't think you'll ever use her, to be honest, which is a real shame. You know, if she had a combo ultimate with Diane, she might be A tier, but you know, the devs didn't want to do that, so it is what it is. Earth Liz is in the C tier. And now finally we're at Gowther, the new character. Guys, the one spec, yo, I know this spec is like the best thing to use in the direct leaderboard, but I'm gonna be honest guys, direct leaderboard is so fake. It is so absolutely fake. They just designed it for Gowther to give you a reason to P10 him. I'm putting him in the C tier. Like, this guy is not good. He's he's just a direct you know, merchant, right? You just run him in that fight, get the leaderboard run, and that's pretty much it. You would never use him in your actual Merlin team. There's no reason to. You are never ever running a burst character with Lightning Merlin. So I'm just gonna put this guy in the C tier because he's just kind of bad, yeah. Next is Book Gowther, and guys, I'm putting him up in S+. It's very interesting though, because this guy in like solo content, he's really not that great because of how expensive it is to use his ultimate. But guys, in like co-op content, in raids, in knighthood boss, like, this guy is absolutely insane. His ultimate is very hefty. It's a 5 cost ultimate, but bro, this guy literally freezes every single boss in the game. Every single boss in the game, he will CC the boss, he will stun them, they will take 100% more damage, aka they'll take double damage for the duration. Obviously there's a big cooldown on it where like they get like a special yellow buff that says you can't stun them with another Gowther ultimate for a certain amount of time, but still, the fact that you can run this guy and stun a boss in a party with people is just so crazy. And obviously his special attack decreases defense by 20%. I think at P5 you get another stack, so he decreases defense by 40%, which is obviously crazy if you pair him up with Liz, because Liz decreases defense by 20%. So obviously his normal skill applies link. It's like a cute little, they take a bit of extra damage, whatever. It's really not that important. It's just his ultimate basically. His ultimate is so OP in co-op content. And finally we have Staff Gowther. Now I'm gonna put him up in the A tier. Staff Gowther is just like a nice, really good support for the Lightning team. I don't think Lightning needed that support, but he's fine to run, you know. He gives crazy buffs. If you have him P10, he gives you 70% crit damage to your Lightning heroes. Could this be an S angle? Nah, I don't think it is. I think his support is way too specific to Merlin. But I mean, yeah, he's just like really good. He buffs Lightning heroes crit chance and Lightning attack, and I think a bit of Lightning damage as well. He just gives a ton of buffs to Lightning heroes. And yeah guys, that's going to be my tier list for patch 1.7. We had to move a lot of characters around. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you guys soon.